Neil, as we head into a busy December period, where is the team performance-wise from where you'd like them to be?
Well, not far away really. I thought the performance on Saturday against Livingston was superb. Very difficult team to beat, very difficult team to play against, but the win was comprehensive, as was the performance. You know, off the back of an international break as well, you always worry about momentum, but they just seemed to pick up where they left off. Thought we had really good first half, and then obviously, we really poured on in terms of goals anyway, the pressure in the second half. Football was great, quality of chances created was great, and the pace that we played at was very good as well, Jerry. So, yeah, I'm not far away from, the expectations that we have of them.
In terms of this time of year as well, sometimes the injuries begin to add up. Johnny was another one who came off, popped his shoulder at the weekend. Do you have any more news on him?
So I'm on a scan this evening, so we're hoping it's just a muscle injury, and if that's the case, then he should be good to go in the next week or so. And we've got a couple coming back. Mikey Johnson, he's back in training now. We're hoping Moy will be training by the end of the week. So fingers crossed Johnny's isn't as bad as what we hope or first feared.
Yeah, Griff coming back is great news for everybody at the club, not least himself. What advice have you given Leigh about what he needs to do to get firing on all cylinders again?
He needs to do extra work. He needs to stay on top of his conditioning now. He's in reasonable condition now, and he's working hard at that. And just to make sure he stays fit. The more fit you are, the more robust you become, and then you're less likely to pick up soft tissue injuries, which is the one that he had there with the thigh strain. So, yeah, it's good to have him back. It just adds that little bit of quality to the attacking strength that we already have.
He's achieved so much at the club already, not least scoring over 100 goals. He's just turned 29, so he's still got a good few years ahead of him. Could Leigh Griffiths' best years at Celtic still be ahead of him?
I hope so. I've spoken to him about this. I didn't come to Celtic until I was 29. People thought I've been here all my life, so if you look after yourself and keep yourself in good condition, you can play for a long time now, the way the modern game's going. And he's certainly got the appetite for it. There's a hunger there about him to get back in, and I think he's really missed playing. So, hopefully step by step he'll get fitter and stronger and have a good run of games now.
And you could sense that eagerness to perform, and because for him in his game it's all about goals, and where another player might just have been happy to get minutes on the field, you could see by the chances that he had and when he came very close to scoring how frustrated he was at not hitting the back of the net.
Well, he's just that natural born goal scorer, and he has those instincts, that if he doesn't score, he doesn't think he's played well, or he hasn't made a contribution, which of course isn't the case. But with people like Leigh, that goals make all the difference for him. You can see his movement, you can see his intelligence. He's unlucky with one across the box from Jerry. It just sort of sat up for him at the wrong angle, and then he's obviously had the shot as well. So even in a cameo role, he's created 2 great goal scoring opportunities, and hopefully that'll give him a little bit of confidence going forward.
Someone who's right at the top of their game just now is our own homegrown hero, James Forrest. His official biography, of course, is out now, but another 2 goals at the weekend, taking his tally for the season already up to 13. Is this the best we've seen, James?
I don't know. I mean, he's had a credible time under Brendan, in the previous 2 years. He had a great season last year, obviously winning everything, the individual awards. But for 13 goals already, we're not even into December. It's an unbelievable return for a winger. And I'm just delighted with the way he's looking after himself, the intent he's playing with. His finishing's getting better. I mean, his first finish the other day was a very, very difficult thing to do, the volley out of the air. He's creating chances. He put Odson clean through first half. And this is him playing on the left. We know he can play on the right. I think he can play at number 10 as well. So I've got an all-round package with James, and he seems happy, he seems in a good place, and we just have to try and hope that he maintains those standards, because they're quite incredible at the minute.
Europa League then against Rennes coming up next. We're in the great position of already having qualified from the group with 2 games left. Are you tempted to make wholesale changes for this one?
Not really, no. I want to win the game, because that would give us a 100% home record in the group, which would be fantastic. It's important for the supporters as well. And obviously, with the incentive of, if you can win the group, you get a advantageous draw in the second half of the season. We're looking to that as well. We're on 10 points already, which is a magnificent return, and there's no reason why we can't, improve on that.
This team is always looking to make new firsts, and I think I'm right in saying that Celtic has never topped a European group. I don't think we've ever had more than 10 points, so there's certainly plenty of motivation still there.
Loads of motivation. Ultimately, win the game, because it's good for everything around the club and the support and the players, obviously, for the confidence and momentum. Top the group if you can. We'll see how the result goes in Rome. But it's going to be a difficult game. We've got a couple of, we know Jerry is unregistered and we'll have to look at that for the second half of the season. Bolly's still not fit, so we're going to look at the fullback positions, obviously. Moritz will figure for that, and obviously Greg as well. He did very well, by the way, on Saturday. And then, the style of play has pleased me so much. And when they're in a good place, I guess it's important to keep that momentum going. And if you win the group, then, it's been very satisfying end to what's been a marvellous campaign so far.